And we are live. This is the second Garden Live. And when my other device went out, so when it later on, we should have it back on and ready to go. So right now, we're right here. And so it's good to see everybody. I know this took a moment for me to get situated. Over there, there's Claude. Right there, there's Claude. Very cute cat. There's Claude right there. Hello, Richard. Good to see you. Here we have Claude. He's a good cat. Yeah, but we are here now and doing the stream, so yeah, ADHD Claude. Yeah, he is everybody in the chat likes him. The people in the streams really like him a lot. He definitely has his way with the chat, and he likes to climb up the trees and do all kinds of things. Very interesting. Yeah, so he is part of our garden tour, and yeah, he definitely guards the garden at night. That is what he does. A Claude live stream. So definitely, I do believe that the alien concepts are true. That we're talking about before, and yeah, see, cats definitely have a spiritual intuition about things that a lot of humans do not have. And I think that is a positive thing because the cats are definitely our helpers, and it is awesome that they can see things differently than we can do, because a lot of times, like, our cats will be looking at something and we don't know what it is, but they know what it is. Good morning, Saw Girl. Glad to be here. Yeah, I hope that you are doing well. It was last night we had our regular scheduled garden live, where we go through the night yard and watch it as the sun comes up. So yes, nice to see you, Saw Girl. Yeah, Claude. Yeah, he is living his best life, and he is just stoned, completely stoned out. Yeah, I believe that there are lots of things around the yard that Claude takes care of when we're not around. And, although the cats don't always get along perfectly well all the time, they do. Yes, cat is awesome trim beard. Yes. And he is just living his best life. Doesn't even know we are there. Saw Girl, they around fall. I've not planted them just yet. Around fall, they grow, and they could be a size of a regular pumpkin you find at the store, but they could grow very large if I wanted to. And usually, putting them inside a bug net helps keep the insects out. But there is a pumpkin growing right now that came from another pumpkin plant. I just haven't planted another set of pumpkin seeds yet. But yes, there is a pumpkin plant growing right now. Yeah. Yeah, jack-o'-lantern size. Yes. Yeah, and the thing is about pumpkin is it's a type of squash. And it's a type of squash that is used for jack o' lanterns. The thing about jack o' lantern, see, the pumpkin flower is very nice. It's nice and yellow and kind of like orange, and it makes a very big vine. And I think, just as with the other squash plants, it tastes very good. You can make all kinds of stuff with a pumpkin plant. Very delicious. Now, yes, not recently though, Saw Girl, because of the uh, stove is kind of broken right now. But yeah, like we did when the stove was working. Pumpkin pie is my favorite, by the way. Hey Jay. Oh, I know Jay. I know exactly what you're going through. I went through that with my granddad too. I went with he had an open heart surgery, so I definitely feel for you, bro. Glad you're taking care of family. I was on a trial and jury duty, and the trial ended. Oh, yesterday we came up with a verdict, so I'm back to the old schedule. Yes, our girl, the stove is broken, and yeah, we can replace it, but we there's complications with the cat in the house. They think that the cat will get scared. I don't think the cat will get scared, but some complications with the cat being scared of people coming in the house. So it's a little bit of it's a tedious situation. Yeah. So I'm stoveless. Yeah. It was successful, and I hope that your granddad is doing okay or doing better. Medical emergencies of family can suck. Saw girl, I'll be honored to tell you about it. So there was this case where a domestic abuse happened. Oh, right now, Jay, we're just talking about whatever. So it was a domestic abuse situation. This dude, he beat her, and scared her to death, literally. And he allegedly was shooting at her, and he dropped some of his clips. And what else happened was there was some, a physical altercation that occurred. So that is what happened, right? And both the defense and the DA both did excellent, although there wasn't much of a case to defend. And I did the voir dire. No one passed away, Saw Girl. It was the victim took the stand, and she was very, you know, emotional. And as I said, I don't know, like, there's more to the story than what they're telling us, but it was a good testimony, and it is wrong what the defendant did. Although, uh, there are some parts of the case that they're saying it didn't make complete, wasn't completely proven. Certain parts weren't completely. Some charges weren't completely proven. One charge wasn't completely proven, but the rest of them were he was guilty on. Yeah, and they do look like a demon. Yeah, yeah. Because when I went in there in the voir dire, there's 26 of the jurors, and they chose 6 of us out of 26. And I talked to the attorney and to the DA. I was very active, like I am with Child Chat, and I said my opinions about things, and I was talking about uh, there are women that can be manipulative. There could be other times women could be abused themselves, and with a situation where they have Stockholm syndrome, they might go back to the partner. Yeah, he did. He was looking at everybody and shaking back and forth. He was like a caged animal. He was like Darrell Brooks, so he didn't give off a good impression. And yeah, I definitely they couldn't exactly prove what object he hit her in the head with, but he hit her head with something. He was guilty about that. Yeah, very creepy. So yeah, he'll be in jail for a long time, and he may have gotten in trouble before for some other things he did. So he's also in a very, very serious state prison too, and for doing some very bad things because the people in the back were from the state prison. So he's in the state prison. So he's impounded for other things that he did too. It was allegedly a part of a firearm, but it was something, a blunt weapon of some kind. Yeah, it could be a book, it could be a vase or anything. It could be a water container that's metal, right? It could be anything. So that's what it was. And we had deliberations, and not everybody agreed on everything. We eventually, and I helped the chat because I know a lot about trials, understand what everything means. You know, what evidence we were presented, we have to go by that, and also use our intuition, and be righteous and just, and give fair trial to everybody. And oh, it was pretty bad. The girl was bleeding out of her head, and it was very a traumatic thing. Oh, hello, tinfoil. Oh, it was just some trial that I was in. I was a juror in. It's over now. Yeah. No, he didn't do anything to the cat. Oh, it was a fracture. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree, tinfoil. Hatter. Very good point. Yeah, Claude looks very comfy. And as I enjoyed it, I had a good experience. I enjoyed the entire process. It was very nice. Right, Jay. Right. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, and yeah, Claude is the most comfiest cat in the world. Yeah, it could be many things. It could be anything. I agree. And I missed all of you in my chat, and I'm glad to be with you all now. Okay, yeah, I can show one at a time. All right, I can show one at a time. So we will. I'll show. I don't mind. I've been showing Athena, but I don't mind showing the other one too. I only can show one at a time at the moment. Right. Yeah, short face tabby. Yeah, a cutie cat. Yeah, the Rob Reiner trial is a good one because that was all of a sudden. It was very shocking when that happened. Very cringe. Tabbies are angels. Definitely angels indeed. Oh, thank you, Saw Girl. Glad you're on board. Arg. Yeah, and as I said, I miss doing the live streams in the garden at night into the day because I had to go to bed earlier. And what I am glad is that I was able to play y'all trial while I was not here, and it was so cool that y'all were in the chat. I'm glad that y'all were able to talk and chill. Oh, glad that you made Gerald's chocolate milk. Dolphins love their chocolate milk. Oh yeah, dolphins definitely are very fascinating. You know, they can talk with clicks and clacks. It was very cool what they could do. Oh yeah, pink dolphins definitely, almost like a space dolphin. Because the pink dolphins in the Amazon certainly are very exotic. They are, you know, very fascinating and magical too. Because dolphins, I think, are smarter than people. They definitely have a strength about them. They have a superhuman qualities to them. Oh, I don't doubt it. I mean, dolphins, are a lot like people, so I definitely believe that. Definitely, the train agrees too. We had food delivered to us. It was very good. I liked it. Oh yeah, definitely crazy, Mark. I agree. Let's see here with this other thing. So, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's weird. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that case certainly was a mystery. I know what you're talking about, and she went missing. I remember seeing this case from a while back, and I didn't know Saw Girl about the comparison, but I know about her from studying about it. There's theories about Epstein or it was also Epstein having something to do with it, and it's certainly a mystery about what happened to her. It's very tragic. Yeah, as I said, sorry, I didn't know about the comparison between her and Madeline. I'm not too sure about who Madeline is, but I know who Ramsey is, though. Oh, extra beer for the cat. That's good. Okay, Chase says, "Listen, I got a whole bucket of sardine. All right, what's this? All right, so man have extra. Okay, so one parasite wasp, long apprehensions in its legs, are found there, and new species of plants like some newly discovered cicadas and whatnot." Okay, let's go this one, like this. Hello, Joseph, and yep, this is Claude, right here. Disappearance of Madeline McCann. Yeah, as I said, Saw Girl. I have to research that one because I'm not familiar with it, but I'm familiar with Ramsey though. Not sure it's like pyramids, kind of Doomsy head, and like he and the 3-page note. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Madeline McCann is a British missing person who, age of 3, disappeared from her bed, Highwood apartment in Paria da Luz, Portugal, and event of 3 May 2007. Daily Telegraph described her disappearance as most heavily reported missing person case in modern history. Maraline's whereabouts remain unknown, although German prosecutors believe that she is dead. Oh, okay, understood. All right, and Madeline, who was on holiday from United Kingdom with her parents, Katie, Gary, and McCain, and her 2-year-old twin siblings, and a group of family friends and their children. McCain children had been asleep at 8:30 ground floor apartment while the parents dined with friends in a restaurant 55 meters, 180 feet away. And parents checked on the children about every 30 to 40 minutes out the evening until Katie was discovered. She was found missing at 10 o'clock. Claude's a dude. Madeline's parents continued the investigation. using private detectors until Metropolitan Police opened its own inquiry in Operation Garage in 2011, and the senior investigator officer announced that he was treating the disappearance as a criminal by a stranger. Uh, it's all good. Yeah, very pretty cat. Shortly after the Portuguese police reopened the inquiry, Operation Garage was scaled back, but the remaining devices continued to pursue a small number of inquiries. Described April 2017 as significant. German authorities declared Christian Brunker their prime suspect. McCain, but charges have to be formalized. Madeline's disappearance attracted sustained press coverage, both UK and internationally, reminiscent of death of Diana in '97, and her parents were subjected to insane scrutiny and faced accusations involvement of the disappearance, particularly the tabloid press and on Twitter. 2008, as a result, the allegations involved the Madeline's death and a traveling companion received damages apologies from Express newspaper. McCain testified before the inquiry. British conduct leading to support of those arguing tighter press regulations. And Mark says parents are hiding something in both cases. I think that's obvious. They gaslight Yellow Rain, going straw man's scarecrow. Okay, a lot of times, apparently, a lot of times these type of cases, the families are involved. A lot of times, or they know something. And Saw Girl, I am not 100% certain, but I think it's possible. It could be a suspect, or he was an accomplice for something. You never know. It could be an accident too that occurred, and they just got rid of the body somewhere. So yeah, a lot of times it is relatives that are doing it. But apparently, with Ramsey, there's Epstein involvement in it, allegedly. That's a very far out theory, though. It's very far out. Yes, an accident out of frustration, like a passion crime. It's possible that there could have been an accident or a passion crime and she accidentally died, and they're like, oh shoot, we got to go and dispose of this. And they did it in such a good way where you can't find out who or what happened. Yeah, Mark says she helped cover it up. Both cleaning themselves. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's so many like holes in the narrative about the whole thing. Like someone had to do something. In both cases, it's like they're at their home and someone snatches them. In the Madeline case, it's like, bro, it's like seems kind of suspicious, and they didn't find out who it was or where they put the body. And yeah, you just kind of wonder about where all these things come from. A Jay, that's my neighbor's dog. There's only cats, raccoons, and possums in our turf. Okay, so thank you for your take on that. I got you. Mark, at these point in these days, it's not far fetched anymore. Okay, with all the stuff going on with J.E. Scared Island, you never know now. Hello, Odin. Welcome to the stream. Right, and so both instances, accidents happened, and they didn't want to be caught for it, so they went and got rid of the. That's what a possible theory might be. But of course, without the burden of proof or evidence, we can't really, say either way about what's happening. Scared. We're about to get into. We're like in spring right now, so that's the sunrise. So thank you, Hannah. Yeah, Alaska spring's a little bit different than everyone else's spring. And summer will be in a month or maybe in a month or so. It'll be closer to summer. Yeah, and that's the sun shining on that cat right there. Oh, it's autumn over there. Okay. Yeah, it's opposite seasons. All right, and here's Claude right here chilling. Mark said Madeline parents ran out and left the kids to themselves after a so-called kidnapping. If I remember correctly, it cost 6 million tax English dollars. Wow. Claude seems like he would be the chillest out of all the other cats. Yeah. He does get in fights with other cats. Surprisingly, he does. But he definitely is very chill on camera. Absolutely. and that's Bubbles right there. Bubbles' brother. Oh, Claude playfully attacks me. It's nothing serious though. I believe karma is a thing. Yeah. Oh no, Paul. It's a very morbid thing to say, but no, he's clearly breathing. Are you dead? Maybe you're a zombie. Oh, look at this as the sun rises. It rises on the Bubbles the cat. So yeah, I usually show you all the morning, and I have to be right here for now. But this is the morning, and we see Claude. Not Claude. This is Bubbles' brother, and he's enjoying the sunrise. Get scared. Bubbles the cat in God mode. Yeah, that's true. Okay, now the sun's getting a little bit more. The clouds get a little bit more intense. Okay, and yeah, let's see. Did you see the SRO tiger got out of the circus? Yes, Rob, that is true. We hypnotized the cat. Have seen the SHRO of the tiger and got a huge circus axe scared. But that tiger wasn't hungry. I didn't know that. Scared. He's taking his morning bath. Very cool. As he's mesmerized in the sun. Okay. Well, Rob, what do you mean by that exactly? That doesn't make any sense to me. Wait a minute, I'm reading what you're saying more. Let's see. Oh, okay. Understood, Rob. And that's very upsetting that that happened to the cat, which hopefully you're not trolling about that, but if you're telling the truth, that's very messed up. Right? Very nice. All right, into the shadow room you go, Rob. Anyway, so yeah, he is extremely elegant. This cat, very elegant, compassionate, but he likes to keep to himself most of the time. And he looks like snow in the sun. Yeah, the shadow realm. Scared. Yeah, so yeah, he is basically a cat in God mode right now, as Odin suggested, and I think that is a beautiful thing about this cat. He he knows best. He knows well about everything that's going on. Okay, Jay, go get some sleep. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. He does look like fire in the sun. That's true. He looks like a Valhalla cat. Yes, when the sun hits right. Yeah. And now what he is doing is he's making sure his tail is all ready. Right. Mark said the footage of the tiger stopped as it mingled with the crowd. Scared. Not going to circus of tigers. Are there three of them? I got out. Well, that is good. That is good. That is good. Right. Now I'm going to show you all the sunrise. Just give me a moment. It's going to buffer for a second, but it's going to stop buffering. In just a moment, it'll buffer, but we'll come back. Okay. That's this. All right, everyone. Here we are. Made it. All right, so here we go. This is the sun. Right, I deal with one large cat over a chimp or an ape. Yeah, yeah. Right. Footage of a tiger stopped and mingled with crowd. Scared. Not going circus tiger. There was three of them. I got out. Okay, that's good. That is the sun with daybreak. Okay. All right, here's the sun. Scared. So we made from the garden to sunrise. Always very cool. There's some clouds in front of the sun. Hilarious, Mark. Yeah, that's the sun, that globular thing. Oh, you might be allergic to the sun. Yeah. You haven't seen anything like this in a long time with these types of skies. Yeah. So it's like a foreign concept. Yes, the sun's flat. That's true. It's flat now. Okay, and there's clouds over the sun, and yeah, that's a really green plant right there. Okay. Oh, hello, Odin 3. Welcome. Clouds are fake. I don't know. There's something there. I don't know what they're called, but there's something. They're not clouds. It's something like that. We'll go look at the clouds or whatever they are. See, look, there's clouds covering it. And NASA clouds are fake, so chat thinks that the clouds are fake. Scared. Timu Sheen clouds. Life is pretty retarded. Yeah, yeah, Odin 3. And NASA got some clouds from 40 years ago, and they're still there. This is the dumbest time I've been alive in history, mankind. Yeah, Odin 3, I definitely agree with you about that. We're in some really stupid times, indeed. Drink radiation, charge smart meter water like 1910, except now we take showers with it. Yeah, we're in some really backwards times, indeed. Venus is not visible right now, but it's over there, actually. Look, it's over there. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Mark's well, Odin 3. So we reach a point in time where intelligent traits are frowned upon because ignorance is bliss. So only stupid people breed at all. Yeah, try to make it a population of people that are obedient. Yeah. Yeah, Idiocracy is a very good movie about what we're going through. It's like everything around society is collapsing and everybody's just okay with it. Nobody really does much about it. That is definitely Idiocracy and like what we're experiencing now. Absolutely. Hello, Rock and Red. Every year I watch that movie, and every year it turns more into a horror instead of a comedy. Oh, absolutely. I agree. It certainly is almost like a preview of what we're going through now. The snakes and the ticks are multiplying as birds like the bald eagles are being forced to extinction, medicinal panels and inhuman EMF levels regarded sight. Okay. Okay. Uh, glad that they're not being extinct. Oh yeah, butterflies are certainly falling apart. There's not as many as it used to be in certain parts of the world. Yeah, yeah. Nobody cares. I know. They're just interested in just poisoning their minds further. I know. Yeah. Right. They'll say it's just not happening. They'll go into like try to make us think we're stupid. Oh, it's back on the list. Okay. Well, hopefully that they can have long, fruitful lives and they don't go extinct. I don't even know what is deleting them exactly. I'd like to know. Oh, that's good, Odin. I'm glad that there's many bald eagles. Solar panels and inhumane EMFs. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Odin. I see. Oh, the plastics are definitely doing it too, because the plastics have so many things and microplastics in there. They're certainly causing lots of problems. Yeah. Odin 3 says, I'm surprised cancer always has such a great chance of coming back because the only thing dogs and humans and cancer have in common is inhumane EMF levels. Possibility nothing green about marijuana dispensaries. Okay, understood. Yeah. Odin 3 said spiritual empathy grows weed outdoors and complain about power outages, fires created them along with the dead firemen and freezing elderly. Yeah. Oh, they sell plastics wrapped in plastic. Oh yeah, so basically they're contaminating the product and everything else. I got you. Yeah, that is, not natural. Yeah. Okay, now it's been a long time since I've done fishing, but yes, I've done it before. It's fun. Also, one of my friends does trapping. Look at that butterfly. Well, it's a moth probably, but it's a butterfly. Good morning, comedy. When you research tells the inhumane EMF does not cause cancer, but side effects to you should immediately something is wrong. Do you know the billionaires use astrology? Yeah, definitely, Mark. There's no beaver here where I am. No. Hilarious Odin 3. There are traps for fishing, though. There's traps for fishing, but not for like beavers and stuff. There used to be skunk trapping, but they don't do that here anymore because they got rid of them all. I don't believe in because the only wild animal with the largest charge and have feelings with a failure of communication. I got you. Your position's understood, Odin 3. If fur paid what it used to, there wouldn't be any left. Yeah, yeah. There's a bird right there. The day of Trump allegedly shooting Uranus was moving. Then Gemini and show respect 50 years in the same alignment. Wow. Wow. Scared. Okay. Bird went into another tree. Birds are fighting. Yeah, shield wall. Yeah, that's definitely a good tactic to use. You too, Odin. A 3. A raven or a crow right there. Oh, absolutely, Mark. That was their modern, live streams and computers back then. That was how they communicated, and they used the same type of phone wires we have now. So it's definitely a fascinating tool, and to them, it was incredible for the time period. Yeah, I think so too. And Morse code was an excellent way for communication back then. Morse code is extremely good. Abraham Lincoln used it, and it was revolutionary for its time. They use like the same phone lines like we have. Okay. Yeah, it was fast and easy to encrypt things, and it was their version of the telephone or the computer of their time. And they still have Morse code today, but not as widely used as it used to be used. All right. John says, "Did you know Abraham Lincoln is married to a Mary Todd, and that's all the family and Colin's family? You should read about John Todd Illuminati." All right, thank you, John, for the info about Lincoln's links to Illuminati. All right. Yeah. Arg, Odin. Facts. Yeah. Skull and bones for us pirates, indeed. Last time Todd family used to be called Collins family when the people found out they were drinking human blood and changed their name to the Todd family. I didn't know that. I appreciate it. Something I've not heard of, but I appreciate different theories about this. Yeah. All right. So that's a pink one, and that's the white ones. You see, they're quite similar. All right. Now, at some point, in a moment, we're going to be going in to do the rest of the stream. It's to recharge up. All right. Let's get that done now. All right. So be back in a moment. Don't back in a moment. I am back. Yes, I'll be back in a moment, and here I am. Me and my pirate hat. Right, here I am. All right. Let's see. I met a guy from Somalia that said pirates run the country sounds like a good place. Yes, Mark, sounds like a great place. Good, bad, they got pushed by pirates because bad jobs and bad economy. Yeah, so the Somali pirates were in existence because their economy really sucked and their people, their economy totally collapsed. That's what happened to them. They had a Timu Sheen experience with things. Okay, let's see, pirates. All right, piracy in the coast of Somalia is a complex phenomenon that emerged from a combination of state collapse, illegal foreign fishing, and lucrative hijacking for ransom business model. When it peaked around 2011, it nearly disappeared due to international naval patrols, and there have been significant resurgence in 2023 and 2026 as international attention shifted toward the regional conflicts. Yeah, Odin, I do agree. Yes. Origin from the fishermen to the Coast Guard. Illegal fishing without national navy. Somalia torrential waters were exploited by the foreign trawlers that depleted the local fishing stock and allegedly dumped toxic waste and the Coast Guard narrative. Local fishermen initially armed themselves to drive away these foreign vessels, viewing their actions as legitimate defense of their resources. The pivot from ransom. They soon realized that the hijacking commercial vessels for ransom was far more profitable than fishing. Business model. The money kingpins and industry is founded on financiers who provide skiffs, fuel, and weapons in exchange for 30 to 50% of the ransom. Targeting pirates. Pirates use motherships hijacked dhows or fishing boats, launch smaller, fast ships hundreds of miles out of the ocean, intercept large cargo ships and tankers. Negotiations. Once the ship is seized, it is anchored near the Somali coast while land based brokers negotiate ransom, which can reach millions of dollars. 5 million paid of the MV Amdullah in April 2024. International response and decline. The combination threat of 15% global trade passing through Suez Canal, a massive international effort was launched. Naval patrols, mission of the EU's Operation Atlanta, and the US led CTF 151 established secure transit corridors. On board, security shipping companies begin hiring private and armed guards and implementing best management practices like high pressure hoses and razor wire. The result, successfully hijacking dropped from a peak of 243 to 2011 040 for several years until late 2023. Arg. Yes, we're going to use cannons indeed. Absolutely. Piracy has reemerged as a major threat to recent months due to several new factors. Security gaps. International naval focus has shifted to recent months due to several new factors. Security gaps. Internal naval focus has shifted on the Red Sea to counter Houthi rebel attacks, leaving the Somali coast less protected. New alliances. An intelligence report suggests that emerging alliance between the militant group Al Shabaab and pirates, with the militants providing protection in exchange for a cut of the ransom. Recent hijackings. In early 2026, several vessels, including the fuel tanker and cargo ship, were seized off the Somali coast, making the return to bad old days level coordination. Right, so it looks like they're still having problems in the Somali coast. They're having these issues. Yeah, and these pirates, are all over the place. And they are doing things like they did before, except that we use cannons and they don't. Right. So it is extremely crazy, like how this is ending up. Right. Mark, we may not always be able to tell, but I will use pirate intuition to figure it out. Arg. Check something here. Let's see. Apparently, the fish off the Somalian coast was destroyed from toxic dumping of other countries. Oh well, they then they couldn't fish then, could they? Right. Let's see. People literally had nothing, and they had nothing to lose. The toxic fish in Somalia were primarily the result of illegal international dumpings of hazardous waste, which began in the late 1980s and accelerated after 91, collapsing of all Somali government. Government, without a functioning state to patrol its coastline, foreign companies exploited area as a cheap alternative to regulate waste disposal. Illegal waste dumping. Massive international investigations, particularly in Italy, estimate that roughly 35 million tons of waste were exported to Somalia. type of toxins. The dump materials included industrial chemicals, hospital waste, heavy metals like lead, cadmium, and radioactive nuclear waste. Extreme cost savings. Dumping in Africa costs as little as 2.50 per ton compared to approximately $250 per ton in proper disposal in Europe. Biocirculation. Hazardous substances like mercury and radioactive materials enter the food chain. Once in the water, those toxins were absorbed by the marine life, leading to bioaccumulation, flesh of fish consumed by the local communities. In 2004, massive tsunami dislodged leaking barrels of containers and hidden dumpsters. This sparked toxins further, leading to massive fish kills and reports of mysterious illness such as mouth ulcers and skin disorders among coastal villagers. Ecosystem collapse. Long term pollution contributed to coral bleaching, algal blooms, and general decline in biodiversity, making it harder for local fishermen to find healthy catches. Destruction of the fishing grounds by pollution, illegal overfishing was directed towards the catalyst for piracy. Local fishermen, originally organized as the saviors of the sea, ward off foreign ships and identified as polluters. Now, there's going to be a trial in about an hour from now, and I'm gonna be on live again for that one. It's gonna be coming out, the Athena one. So this one will end. This will complete the Guardian live for today, and then we'll go into that live for that group, later on. So, and that was about the Somali pirates. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for coming, and see you all later. And Odin said something else. Odin says Thailand having a issue with pollution in waters and it's hurting their fishery. Well, Odin, well, that certainly means is that. Oh, hello there, Roto. Well, hello there. Yeah. Yeah, usually what happens. Well, I mean, it's a good thing that you're making. It's like making good content when people like don't want you to go when you go. It's really interesting. Well, that's nice, Roto. That's nice. And Odin said Thailand is having issue with water and it's hurting their fishery. Okay. So let's see, Odin, if there's any piracy in Thailand. Let's see before I go. Thailand, the term piracy most commonly refers to intellectual piracy. Let's see, what about their fishers? Intellectual property theft, such as counterfeit goods and illegal streaming, rather than high seas hijacking, seen in Somalia. While maritime piracy is historically a threat in the waters. So, intellectual property. Thailand also long been associated with red zones, markets like MBK Center, Pat Pong, and modern crackdowns. 25, 26, government has significantly intensified enforcement of the first-hand physical 2026 alone, authorities seized over 1.3 million counterfeit items worth more than 2.3 billion. Maritime piracy. Actual sea piracy within Thai territorial waters is rare, but Thailand remains a crucial player in regional security. The Malacca Straits Patrol. Thailand collaborates with Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia to patrol the strait. The government ordered intensified crackdown on illegal maritime smuggling and rather than traditional ship hijacking. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Current focus. On April 2026, the government ordered the intensified crackdown on illegal maritime and smuggling rather than traditional ship hijacking. Regional hotspots. Most modern Southeast Asian robberies occur in South Singapore and Gulf of Thailand. 70s and 80s, the Gulf of Thailand was notorious for brutal pirate attacks and Vietnamese boat people fleeing the Vietnam War. Okay, let's see. All right. Major recent shipwrecks, 25 to 26. These are recent ones of shipwrecks in Florida, a Florida pirate treasure. All right. 2025 Golden Jackpot. And 25 salvage crew recovered $1,000 in gold and silver coins worth estimated, no, 1,000 silver and gold coins worth estimated 1 million of the Treasure Coast, Indian River, and Saint Lucie counties. And historical impact. These coins minted in colonial Mexico and Peru and Bolivia, likely part of a single treasure chest scattered upon impact. Ongoing legal sagas. On March 26, famous treasure hunter Tommy Thompson was released after nearly decades. Cat remembers that. Okay. East India Trading Company were the first pirates. Yeah, that's very true, Tank. Famous treasure hunter Thomas was released after nearly a decade of prison, refusing to reveal the location of 50 missing gold coins from SS Central Rack. Back out of Australia found 20 million in his wardrobe. Damn, losing that, and now you got to jail. Scared. Yeah, scared. Legendary pirate fortunes. Captain Lewis Michael Ory. Recent research suggests that Ori may have been buried 11 treasure caches uh, worth roughly 140 million in today's money and near Ancolote, Florida. Everglades. Gold local legends persist of approximately 2,000, no, 200,000 in gold coins hidden by Confederate paymaster between Alligator and Alley and Road and 41. All right. February 26th, the state set a new record of retrieving 88 million in forgotten funds to residents. An estimated 1 in Floridans have unclaimed property, forgotten bank accounts, insurance procedures of jewelry, abandoned safe. You can search for free on Florida treasure hunting website. Public beaches. Metal detecting is generally allowed on public beaches between toe of the dune, toe of the dune, and high water link because of a receipt. Oh, because of a receipt. Okay. Submerged land. Any air artifact found in the water that is older than 50 years is illegally the property of state of Florida. The Treasure Coast leases in certain areas. The Treasure Coast, you cannot hunt in the water without a specific state approved lease. Permits. Right. Let's see. Found 20 million. Let's see. Now jail. Receipt. Australian man in multi-million-dollar hull of wardrobe. It's likely a few high-profile wardrobe crime stories have been circulating recently. Wardrobe. Now, this is a couple of different ones, Mark. There's a couple of different circumstances when this happened. While the figure isn't exactly 20 million, a high-profile Canberra lawyer Ben Aluch was recently accused of plotting to launder a wardrobe full of effing cash through a supermarket. This case has gained significant attention. In early 2026, it moves through the courts. I know it doesn't happen anymore. It looks like they omitted that rule. Okay. $60 million wardrobe discovery. In a more direct find, a 17-year-old girl, Perth, was arrested after police discovered a package of her bedroom wardrobe, part of a massive 55 million. This has nothing to do with what Mark was talking about. 55 million heroin shipment. The specific package in her wardrobe was allegedly worth more than 16 million at the time. This was part of the international investigation involving Australia federal police. All right. So that is something that occurred. Right. Good morning, Lori. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Hello, Thirst. Oh, okay, Lori, understood. Okay. All right. So, oh, well, glad that you're home. That's good to know. And hopefully, everything could get better with that because sometimes allergic reactions can happen. A couple of days. Okay. Well, oh, poison oak is pretty messed up. You know, yeah, poison oak is not good. Definitely cause an issue. I've not had that problem before, but I had problems with poison ivy. Hello, Fist. Good to see you. Lori said, "I took down a trap from Eagle Camp in Pond Thursday and didn't know had poison oak in it." Oh, okay, okay. Hello, Aaron. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Well, thank you, Lori. I'm glad that you're watching the replays. It's nice to have that there. Nice to have you there. Yeah, it said the jury duty thing was very interesting, and it was nice being in a physical trial, and it reminded me of a Darrell Brooks case. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah, yeah. No vacations for me. That's true. That's true. Yeah, so basically, and I've been up since last night and streaming for everybody, and here I am now, and so yeah, just a no break for the alien. But I tell you, when I was doing the jury duty stuff, I was yeah, dude. This okay, Lori, do it like this. That's what the dude was like, and he did calm down eventually, but he was yeah that exact face. Well, that's what the face he was making. He was like, Bro had like the like philosophical constipation in his eyes, man. Like that was not a good impression. None of us, you know, it's like me personally, I could speak for where like none of us expected what we were going to see. And speaking for myself, I was just like, whoa, this is just some, messed up. This dude's kind of messed up right there. Yeah, we did see a spacecraft, Claire. That's true. Yeah, and shots Mary Toodles. And yeah, the defendant was saying grounds. Yeah, Lori. Yeah, yeah. Because other people that I was observing, no one I talked to specifically, but people I was observing were just kind of like looking down, but I was like looking right at him. And the chat say, Aaron and Lori said good morning. All right, she said hello, and he was just like, in during the trial, he was kind of looking at us like, but I was just like looking back at him. I would have like these little times where we just go and just look at each other, and then he just kind of look away, and yeah, because he was all like, yeah, he really thought he was something, and then we were. I talked to both, as I told you, Lord, before, talking on both sides, and I was very vocal about it. I was because I'm really in the trial stuff, obviously, so it wasn't really a bad thing for no one had a bad experience with it. Everybody eventually was on the same page, but you know, I'm watching this stuff all the time. Like I'll be live streaming a trial for y'all all day long. You summon Moki, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really cool what we were seeing how there's one juror though, not a juror, but a person that could have been okay. So there's 26 people or so, and then they only chose a few of them, right? Yeah, one guy that was saying that no matter who's in the trial, he's not going to find them guilty. Oh wow, there she is. There's Moki. Hello there. I see you. It looks like what Aaron did was successful. Yeah. So when that occurred, the guy, one of the people were saying how they wouldn't go and find any person guilty on anything because they're not there to judge. And we all knew that it wasn't likely that this person was going to be uh, put in the trial because he just didn't want to be there. So they're asking under any circumstance, this person was not going to find anybody guilty. He's like, I'm not there to judge anybody because all the things happening in the news. And he just can't trust anything. And yeah, that guy didn't want to be there. So, it was said very cool being in an actual place, Lori, like that, and actively talking to the both sides. I was like one of the only people that was like actively talking about what was going on. A lot of people were just quiet and trying to keep to themselves. Questions that were asked, it was about affiliations with the police, what you think about these certain type of crimes that happen, and it was just basically, uh, I gave like I'd say a non-biased view on things, just how I am. Like all this trial stuff, I feel very strongly about. I take very seriously. So I'll just I'm biased about it, and I felt very honored that I was picked, and it was cool talking to the jurors. Answer. Okay. So during the voir dire, no, during the voir dire, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we were explaining, right? That was going on there. People's opinions. That's what I'm referring to at the moment. She's saying, "Did you hear other potential jurors' answers?" Okay, so the way it works is that you have a group of people together and kind of like we kind of debate about the topic to see, and there's just a few papers, that's how it works inside the room. No, Moki, no one said that they were racist. Yeah, no one said they were racist. It was uh, the only person that seemed like they were having a bias was it was a black guy that I don't really know what he looks like or anything. I didn't really like look behind me, and he was saying kind of like he didn't trust the media, didn't trust anybody, and he wasn't going to be involved in this thing. Thank you, Odin. Cop haters. There was people there that no one that had anything against cops. There were people who were talking about like if your family is in law enforcement or if you in law enforcement. That's what they were asking. You had some people that worked in law enforcement or had family in it. Oh no, he's on to something with all the stuff happening in the corruption and all. Yeah, yeah, Lori. Yeah, it was. Yeah, no one announced that. It was a pretty chill group of people, and I I kind of like got in some some debate with the defense attorney at the same time being fair. You know, And same thing, the DA, he used an alien example I told you all last night about. I like that idea a lot. He used, and so I was very active in it. I like that, and my whole row, I think, was chosen in it. Yeah, so I talked about the art of speech. It could be used to articulate different things, and yeah, as I said, any questions, feel free to ask. I really, really enjoyed it. Although I felt I missed you all very much, but I was glad that y'all had a live stream to look at of the trial without ads. And I go like in the afternoon when I get off, or I'd see one of y'all tell me that y'all on a stream. I'm like, okay, it survived. Well, I think it was good. I think it was good enough, and I'll say that I'm glad to be back here with all of you. Like the usual schedule. Yeah, guarding, getting it strong, yes. But the other factor is something that I was thinking about was there's no DNA analysis about anything. There wasn't other alleged things that were happening that were brought up in evidence. It was just very vague things, but just kind of like but I will say it was very quick and it wasn't really necessary. The trials we watched on those trial chats, man, they're completely ridiculous. They're extremely long and they're a waste of time. Okay, so these people wasted no time. They're no BS. They just get to the point. Yeah, they don't really play where I am. They, you know, uh, it's usually most of these trials last just a few days or less. It's not like the other ones. All right, and that is the thing that occurred where, and we also want to go by the evidence that was presented and to go by that and not over or underdo anything. And as I said, it was so my relations with the other ones were very good. We all got along well. We didn't. We were complete strangers to each other, but We got along well. There was this nice architecture, very nice architecture, like in the courthouse. Now, the second day, which was yesterday, when I went there, I didn't quite recall exactly where to go, but I went through the entrance. They scanned me, and I went to the desk. It looks like an airplane, an airport. That's what it looks like. And I go to the front desk and ask them, I'm trying to get to this place where we go, and then you go elevator up some stairs, then go and take a right that way, and yes, Aaron, lyrics to a song. That's really cool. And scared. That is what we did, right? And then you go into this place where it has all this nice architecture, and there was this other room where we go in for the trial part, and we go into the back. They always had snacks, and they had more snacks, and they had food, and they're very, very nice. Yes, so I'm gonna see about streaming the trial today and making sure everything's working right. Yeah, see how it works, and just like I have been, because usually I would have it already started because I left for yeah, but I definitely will be playing that one because for y'all, see how it all goes. If there is any kind of issues, should be able to stream it as usual. And I got here before the playlists start to hit because I had all these videos planned if I was gonna be gone for a long time for y'all to watch, and it looks like both times I got here before it went to that, so that was pretty cool. It's almost like a trick or treat thing with they had some candy in a bag and they had some chips in a bag, so it's kind of like a trick or treat type experience. So yeah, I made sure everybody was okay and that they had their decision. Oh, awesome, awesome. Oh, thank you, Oz. Appreciate it.
The water's off. I didn't know it. Don't use the bathroom. The water's off.
Oh, okay, it's a Timu City. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thank you, Moki. And remember, Moki, we were talking about we sent reels, and I was updating you about what's going on, along with some of the others I was talking to, and I want to say y'all have been very supportive of me with this trial thing because there's a point where they take away the phones and put them in a box, so I'm completely cut off from everything, and it really was a deep thing because we're around each other all the time, all day for years, and it's like this time there was a different situation where it wasn't like that. So I appreciate all y'all support through this whole thing. Okay, Aaron, understood. Yeah. Yeah, so y'all were very great, when we handled it. Oh, okay, Moki said UAP and I are trading reels. Aaron didn't warn him. Oh, scared. Okay, you too, Odin. Thank you for coming. Okay, good. Yeah, because Emoji definitely has the greatest reels on the internet that can be sent out, and she definitely is good at doing that. So yeah, for those that would not be warned, that she does send, uh, she does send them out, and lots of information. Yeah, she does not hesitate. You will be reeled in, so to speak. You'll feel you have reeled in, and like you go look and you see a whole bunch reels and to look through. But I said it's spoiling. Like I feel spoiled by it when it happens to me, and I learn a lot of stuff, and I use a lot of the information from reels in the live streams. But yeah, they definitely are there, and The Moki experience. You'll definitely get. Yeah, and that's Saga right there. So as I said, just um, they thanked us a million times, and I just said it was so cool, in a way with the trial. As I said, it just I'm glad to be here with all of you and back home, right? And the fellow jurors are amazing. They're amazing, and all of the everybody else was cool. And like I said, I'm glad I got to be on the trial. And tons of people were ahead of me that could have been chosen, but I was chosen. So I felt, like honored that I was, put on it. Yeah. Anyway, so it's how our legal system works, and without it, it wouldn't be able to function. So it's good. And I made a statement that we have it like this because it's not like other countries that do things. That we can have it where fair trial for all people. Yeah. So yeah, Lori, that is the experience with it. And they have vending machines. They have big staircases. It almost looks like Hogwarts. That's what it's like from like Harry Potter. Yeah. And as I said, Lori, it was so because I always watch trials with, and you've seen a trials we played, or you watched it with us before. It was, you know, lots of interesting testimonies, and there's police body cam footage, just like I've seen these trials. But it's like it's so different being there in person than seeing it on the computer. It's the vibes, everything is so different. Yeah, and it was it's really something else. Indeed, it was kind of like being on a reality show. Oh, Moki, they need a. I am so like anxious for them to release those files. It's they're right now they're probably building that website and putting files on there, but man, we really need to go and look through all those files because we have to definitely look through them and see that. And I'm glad that finally there's disclosure with it because for so long people thought it was something made up or something stupid, but no, it's actually something real. Yeah. And definitely I can't wait for the reel about the release of the website. That's going to be really good. So they released Epstein stuff, which is good. They did that, and now they need to release this other stuff as well because aliens and Moki on these live streams, these phone lives. There's so many people that have had experiences everywhere, right? And there are trolls and stupid people that come in all the time, right? But there's also some people that have philosophical conversations about it. All over the place, people have seen UFOs, and many people believe they're real. Oh, thank you, Mac. Yeah. Arg. Oh, that good to know about that, Lori. Thank you. Oh, awesome, Mohi. Awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I mean, we have so much things that are not explainable, and a lot of people believe that the aliens could be from Earth. They're still on Earth underwater. That they may have they live underwater. There's also theories about the hollow Earth theory we've talked about on the show. Oh, that is hysterical. That's gonna be that AI thing has to be hysterical to watch. Wow. Yeah, they showed Amber Turd herself turding. The turd gets the spotlight of 15 minutes of fame. Yeah. Oh yeah, Moki did. That is true. She certainly did. And that is what we talk about. So the UFOs come from underwater a lot of times, and there is something else there underneath. And there's too many people in the military seeing them, and they are nonstop being seen. And people in Sweden are seeing them. People all over the world are seeing these things. So they need to certainly release that as soon as possible. But it's good, at least finally, the time has come where the UFO files be released. Because a lot of times it was not taken seriously. They said they had no information about it. But now the hour has come. I can't believe she blamed the large pile on their Yorkshire Terrier. Yeah, I know. Amber didn't want to take responsibility for her actions. And, she allowed her dog to step on a bee too. So, what kind of nonsense is that? So, yeah, that's what the the UFO stuff is going viral everywhere. Like when that website drops, it's going to go viral everywhere. So, hopefully, there's some more Skinny Bob videos or some J Rod videos or some information about that. Be really cool to see. Oh, okay. Hello, Nana. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. And the, the website has so many things on it. Oh, I would think about, there's a lot of footage and images and documents because, one time someone was asking about like why the aliens are real. Like, why do people think that, they're real, but they don't like show themselves? I'm like, why did the government censor so many people and had the Men in Black and all that were talking about aliens that get censored? It's weird. And all these scientists. Yes, yes. We were talking about that earlier. I think they will say they're always been here. Perhaps mention the hybrids. Yeah, because there's theories that the last night, like Sunny was talking about it with us, where she was saying how that the aliens they always were here, and they're here with us now, and that makes sense. We'll see if it's also in the files too, and definitely with the hybrids. There's certainly them, and they can even be among us. So I think that is an interesting uh, concept for people to like take in consideration that are viewing these aliens files because they they say like they don't have alien files and they have alien files that will be released. And hopefully it's not a nothing burger and we're given some really cool like information that we've never even seen or thought of before. That would be really cool. Book of Enoch talks about these things and Bible talks about these things too. And different religions everywhere talk about these things. Flying things in the sky. I'll just call them UFOs. And Moki says there are still sections of the government saying there's nothing to release. Like, come on, I know. It's like they're in complete denial and there's completely gaslighting us and thinking that they got one over us. But it's like we know what they're hiding. It's very obvious. And like for the Giant of Kandahar, for instance, Moki, they asked the FBI and they asked the Pentagon about the Giant of Kandahar, and they said, "Oh, we don't have that information. We don't have any record of it." It's there's something there. There's something there. It's not like what they are referring to. it's they're just concealing the evidence. Loki, okay, that's a theory I've heard about too. Okay, I've heard about that theory too, and there because similar to the incident that happened recently with the attempt on Trump is that they seem to there's a theory about the MK Ultra using these energy weapons to manipulate the minds of people to do those things, like it's form of mind control. And it's possible the other scientists too may have done things to MK Ultra. Uh, they may have been MK Ultra'd through those different energy weapons. So it's definitely a plausible possibility. Seeing what has happened, that could be an explanation because, or however they do it. And I'm only speculating, but they definitely have been possibly manipulated by them. Kidnapped, that is possible too. And there's theories that they're working on a project somewhere, right? Or some of them are kidnapped and being held somewhere. That's also another possibility. Same thing with the Asian ones, the Chinese ones too. So there's they could have been being held captive and having to work on a project, kind of like a Mission Impossible show, or they have been, brought somewhere else that we're not aware of or not alive. Yeah, and when they get kidnapped, it's because the reason why I think they could be kidnapped is there's so many things like their all of their personal belongings are just left behind and they just vanish in a desert. And I will say that's another thing of a mind control theory because so there's something programming them to leave all their stuff and belongings and then go off in a certain area. And they all pretty much did the same thing. Like there's a Manhattan Project where they were working on a secret energy weapon, the atomic bomb, and they had to sequester everybody. So, is our people or someone else hiding them for some reason? Are they being censored about the anti gravity technology? Because the alien technology would be extremely potent to give people free energy and whatever else. So it has an enemy kidnapped them, an enemy of them kidnapped them and held them for some reason. It's possible. So you got speculation with some good foundation because there's no other explanation about where they went. Yeah, and there's no without a trace of a body or anything like that. And whoever did it was very good at not being caught. You know, same thing with Guthrie. She went missing too. It's all these people are just dropping like flies. It's very suspicious. At some point, we gotta eventually find out what happened to them. If they ever release what actually really happened, because I'm sure they could know and just not say anything, like they always do. I don't think they ever will, unless there's a whistleblower. Right. You know, because these people either were working on a project or they were unjustly taken. And they've already been exposed for a bunch of different things, so I'm sure they've improved their security of concealment of what they do to others. Right. Some think they could be aliens themselves that were abducted. back to their spaceship or scientists that went along with them. But the silver lining is that they knew too much about these very hot bucket topics with anti gravity, with UFOs, a lot of sensitive information that maybe they're just trying to censor. Hopefully, the aliens.gov files are not a nothing burger, and it gives us crucial information about the alien species, you know, infiltrating all these different things, because they always have this mass censorship. So if they're really going to be honest about and direct with us, hopefully put it on the website. If not, that really sucks. But um, something that they need to be doing a long time ago, and I don't completely trust them at all because they have lied too much, and they seem like they have too much of a bias. And I don't like it how they said aliens were not around, and they said aliens are around. Yeah, and there is many lies that were, because there's people in like Florida. Remember, there was an incident of a blue UFO that was there, and it was real, and people were seeing it. But they also said it could have been a fake that was put there, at some point, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case. And the Men in Black thing is one of the most mysterious ones to me because they always talk about, they have these suits and they go to someone's house and they go and censor them about what they're experiencing, what they're going through exactly. And it's kind of weird. It's like where they come from. It seems like a very secret, clicky type of organization. Not only does it make any Timu sense, but it doesn't make any sense, but it also makes no Timu sense. So, as I said, they appeared to people that were claiming that they're seeing UFO encounters. I've heard some besides us, right? I don't know if I'm back or not, but we'll see. Let's see. All right. So what I was saying is that there's different conspiracy theories about the moon where it is believed that the moon was put there. Thank you, Lori. All right. So, and I was seeing the numbers drop of people that were watching, so I figured that I went out. So I looked on the computer and I saw that it wasn't producing anything. So on here, it doesn't even tell me that the stream went out. I was just talking to myself, but I saw the numbers go down, so I figured that something happened because that's usually what that means. Like people don't. It's like type like what typing something, but glad you did that because those people could do that, but they don't. So it's okay, and not a problem. And but you the regulars, you know, like that I know, like Aaron, you, Moki, etc. They always tell me when something's going on, with the stream. But like the NPCs sometimes are like, so. Uh, but anybody that's like a regular watching, I'm not talking about you, but just like some people just don't always get. It could be a shocking thing when a stream goes out, so they just don't always do what they do. It was looping. Now, if anybody's like away from their phone or something, that is different. Yeah, I'm not talking about any of the regulars that watch me. I'm talking about people that are just the some of these 1912 people, some person I don't know, but shout to all of them, or whoever's viewing, like random people on YouTube, like whoever they are. They're just NPCs. No one that especially no one I know personally that I talk to all the time. Never them, or the regulars. For whatever reason, if they left, that's fine. I'm talking about NPCs. Yeah, deer in the headlights. Right. I said you, Aaron, Moki always tell me when the stream has a problem. Yeah, if y'all are able to. And oh, hello there, NPC 1904. Welcome to the stream. All right. So, Lori, there's this concept of this UFO theory is that the moon had an alien base on it or something like that, and they projected a fake alien, a fake moon landing because the actual moon had stuff on it they didn't want them to see. This theory combines both that they didn't really go to the moon, but they did go to the moon and the video is faked. That would combine both theories. Another thing that I have seen is that, let's see, there is another theory that the other objects in space were the aliens, right? The gray aliens, that they're projecting their consciousness into the yeah. There's other concept that the grays, right? The gray aliens, they're from another dimension or another universe somewhere or another planet, and they're projecting their consciousness in the gray alien. So the gray alien is like an avatar thing. And that's why these things die or their ship crashes because it was just a dummy. It was like a throwaway razor or like a throwaway phone, like a payphone. So these entities are actually getting hurt by them. It's just that they're going through they're crashing, but they don't actually feel it themselves. It's like a holographic situation. Whenever they're going to the 3D realm, to our realm, that's what it does. Right. Yeah, and so those are two theories I think are interesting about the gray aliens projecting their consciousness into one of those things, and that being that's what the gray aliens are, and all those other aliens, and they're from somewhere else projecting it into them. So those are two that I've heard about. And Men in Black. My point about Men in Black is that there is so many things in Men in Black where there's a disturbing, organization that was trying to censor the people, right? It was trying to censor the people about their alien experiences. And why would they go through all this great lengths to censor people about that? It's just very bizarre. Right. Yeah, and as I said, like recap about the trial I was in, it was just so like it was just it felt. Let's see. Oh, hello North. Good to see you. It was just so like kind of strange not being able to do the streams like I usually do and stuff like that. But I did it, and it feels kind of like disturbing, but it's also good and welcoming. The people are there are nice, and it was a cool people there. Right, and this is an alien flag right here. Okay, it was my first. Yes, it was my first. Nice. Yeah, it was my first time ever doing it, and we had deliberations and we debated these things and selling our differences out and made sure everybody was feeling that they're treated fairly and that they had their voices heard, and that's what we did for in that situation. And I applied everything I learned from the trial stuff, Lori. That stuff was perfect for me for what I had to do next. Yeah, like I was telling his the attorney that the defendant will get the a fair trial, you know, and it doesn't really matter about what is said, you know, that it has to be done fairly like that. I said I was going up the elevator and everybody like I ran into one of the fellow jurors and we were able to go into the courtroom and get it done. So I was glad I ran into him. It was like I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah. Lori did in early 20s. It was really about a bar fight and a dude was convicted of aggravated assault 3 days, I think. Okay. Well, I recall this one was a violent case I had to do with. It was about uh, people that broke up with each other, and this dude came back and he wanted his revenge. That's what it seemed like it was. According to the what was presented. Yeah. Hello, Frank. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, California. Definitely, Frank. Right. Right. So I said it's a very intriguing experience for me to do, and I am glad for the support and also the jurors and we all just like went our separate ways. I thought that was for the best, but they were really amazing people. They really were, and I was kind of teaching some of them about. I didn't say anything about my anything about me personally or what I do, but I did tell them about trials and how they work and how you do like legal arguments because those people like you didn't know to go with their feelings or go with their you know other stuff. We have to go out what was presented. And yeah, so 10 people here. Good morning. I'll be enjoying my coffee with you this morning. Going to get dose a daily news later on after visiting. Okay, thank you, Frank. And well, I don't need a new hat. I need a feather for my hat. That's what I would need. I agree, Frank. A good point. Okay, let's see. By the way, Lori, in the although you see the garden lives, the tomatoes are growing, and also the okra is too. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, and I knew the trial was gonna be only 2 days, but I didn't tell y'all anything until I had to, until it was over, to tell y'all things. And I'm glad I took it seriously, and I did my part of what I was supposed to do. All right, so Lori says, "Cool aliens. Did anybody plant it?" Okay, is it coming back? Let's see. Okay, it's back now. All right, so now we are back, and it's a little bit better. Okay, let's see. Okay, that should work. All right. So in those situations, like I was saying, like I don't know anything about King Charles and a White House dinner. I'm not aware of that. Thank you, chat, for letting me know about what was buffering. Thank you. Let's see.
It seems it seems to be working. Turn the bathroom faucet on and you'll know if it's working or not.
Okay. Nor says, "Are you referring to 8647 because it's a propaganda? Does not mean violence. It means remove the president." Okay. And let's see. Let's see what else. What else in there? All right, yeah. It says President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump hosted King Charles III and Queen Camilla for historical White House state dinner in White House the evening of April 28, 2026. The event was cornerstone of King's 4-day state visit in the U.S., which commemorates 250th anniversary of the United States independence. The white tie after affair. This White House state dinner held White House since 2007 when President George W. Bush hosted Queen Elizabeth II. King Charles presented President Trump with the original bell from the HMS Trump, a British naval submarine from 1944, joking, "Should you ever need to get hold of us, just give us a ring." Right. So President Trump praised the king earlier speech to Congress, even joking he was jealous of how well the speech was received by both parties. King referenced the 1814 burning of the White House by British troops as a small attempt to at real estate development, and quipped that the dinner was considerable improvement on the Boston Tea Party. So um, both seem like they're exchanging positive, good sportsmanship, and with the Republican Party. Right? Yeah, Frank, I have to go back and look at the this thing. I didn't know it happened, so yeah, I have to look at the replay of it. Right. Both Queen Camilla and Melania Trump wore gowns and shades of pink, intended as a nod to the famous cherry blossoms of Washington D.C. The cherry blossoms are from the Chinese. I'm being stupid. From the Japanese. Yeah. Dinner was held in East Room and attended by approximately 200 guests, including tech business titans Jeff Bezos, Laura Shantez, and Tim Cook. Robert Kraft. Frank says, I personally think that the country was hungry, thirsty, if you will, to see a Bartenship applause of agreement for King Charles and his words, his kind words. Right. And if there could be unity and peace between our countries, it would be good. You know, I mean, us and the UK. Yeah. Our politics. Politics and law. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and six conservative Supreme Court justices, including Chef Justice Robert John Roberts. Trump family, Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany Trump, all in attendance of their spouses. Yeah, that is pretty cool that they did that. Okay. So they look like they have a nice dinner too, as well. 14 hours ago. Yeah. All right, Frank said, "If I may, I would like to express my displeasure with an ABC and Jimmy Kimmel for the terrible words that he said about First Lady Melania Trump. Yeah, it's good to be considerate of other people. Yeah, hmm and we got to condemn all types of violence in any shape or form on either side. You know, there's enough division in the country. I like to try to keep it as much united as possible. So yeah, just with all the assassination attempts and assassinations, like with Charlie Kirk and etc. I mean, we don't need any more violence going on. My pleasure, Frank. Yeah, and well, I appreciate you telling me about this because my father's side's in the UK, and I'm interested in UK things. I was in a trial, like a a juror in a trial. I've been doing my own streams and stuff. I've been paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the world. So, all right, yeah, that's pretty interesting that they did this, and I am I say it's quite quite historical too. It probably hasn't been done since '07. You know, so yeah, they have the two flags of the countries. Now the flag of the United States is technically the East India Trading Company flag, but with the stars in it instead of the Union Jack. So that's why the two flags look kind of similar. The red, white, and blue concept. Okay, let's see. Let's go this way. We we need more peace and unity because a house that like what Abraham Lincoln said, President Lincoln said, like a house divided against itself won't stand. So it's important to have that. But yeah, it's definitely intriguing to uh, see like free speech is important, and we don't want to lose free speech by having it corrupted by violent motives because when violent motives come there will be you know a downfall of free speech in general. So yeah, it's does the opposite. Well, people think it does. Let's see what's going on over here in this stream. Let's see. North Star says what people don't realize is that the powers that be are using party system against the people with their propaganda. I don't support either side. Both sides have their issues. Well, thank you, North, for your opine on that. You know, George Washington warned about doing political parties, and I think there's different. You know, people have a right to be concerned about it. They could be both influenced by foreign countries or our country or whatever in a negative way. I mean, they both want to win. Yeah, I definitely. It's like like both sides. May not be. I definitely do think there's division. Okay, that's something that is there. Like one thing I like about this channel is that I brought people from all over different types of views that would usually not be getting along. So it breaks the matrix. What this channel does, it's cracking the matrix, and I like the Civil War was kind of a similar concept. So yeah, it's a good point. Hey, oh, hello there, Falcon. Welcome. Frank said both sides of the political aisle have an agenda. We can agree on this. It's time for these tests of the resolve that we must come together for greater good of mankind. Excellent, Falcon. Amen. Definitely agree. And we're not all going to agree on everything. No one does. And we need the freedom of speech. Not freedom of speech. That's what I meant to say. I'm just. I didn't really sleep or anything, so I'm like half. I'm like partially there, but not really there. All right. So that's why we need the the unity. And when to go back what I was saying a moment ago, during this at the time of the tests and resolve, it must come together. Yeah, because the greater good of mankind is important because a lot of times there's dehumanization that may happen, and that's what they want, and keep it in a divided state, not like how it was originally intended to be. And that's what I like about this place. People that have different. Are you running on 2 hours of sleep? Okay, gotcha. Mhm. Yeah, and okay, this is what I was gonna say. We're not all gonna agree on everything. No one does. But we could all agree to disagree sometimes, and that everybody's just gonna see something through a different point of view. Doesn't mean that they're automatically your enemies. You know, like, if somebody's doing violence or evil, then that's different. But yeah, it's they did this in okay, where I am, it's 9:26 a.m. where I am. Right. So that's why it's important to have that, as the foundation. People could agree or disagree, and that way people won't see people as an enemy for disagreeing. But we need to show humanity towards both each other. It's like it's like yeah, if you and someone else were on both the last two people on Earth, like what would you do? Like you got to try to get along. So that's why I think and I remember I wasn't there physically, but I know in Germany and Russia they did these things. They had political parties and very extremist ideas that like there's a Weimar Republic and there's the Reich. There was the the Russian Empire. There's the USSR. There was these different things that happened in Communist China. There was these different things that happened in recent times where they completely tore people apart, and we don't want that happening here, right? I'm concerned about the media, about how they handle things. I know, but there's people obviously out there that are going to do something stupid. Yeah, thank you, Falcon. Um, I'll be plugged in shortly. Uh, scared, scared. Oh, when I was in the jury thing, I said when I was in the thing, I said scared. When I was with the jurors in the back. Yeah, Frank said, I think we all can agree that violence is in no way free speech. Is it a license to provoke violence and light of President Trump third attempt of assassination? Well, I agree. It's completely disgraceful that you know people are trying to come to this violence again, and the NASA. This dude worked for NASA too, and there was this plastered image, this colorful image of what this other account that said the name of the person that did the attack. Uh, there's a profile in 2023 that said the name of the current shooter. Okay, and it's kind of weird. They both work for NASA, and NASA's behind these people disappearing are from NASA. Involved these scientists too. He Another thing was that there's this picture and the mysterious profile, a colorful picture, and allegedly it shows a person with a fist up in the air, like with the Trump's assassination attempt, savior type that he was like saved from that pose he made. It was allegedly put there before it was documented before it even happened. Is what I'm trying to say. Allegedly. So out here in California and 20 miles away from me, and family is now has to live with this poor decisions of their sibling. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they're very good, Frank, at selling lies to people. They can sell a bridge to somebody because they promise them all these things they're going to get, if they support their cause, but they don't really get it. You know, and this looks it's like a utopia, but it's not really a utopia. That's not how it works. The things that look good on paper, but doesn't really work. I'm back. Thank you. All right. So yeah, Falcon, that makes sense. Oh, okay, Frank. Interesting. I haven't heard about this situation. Okay. Okay, Lori. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So they promise people a bunch of things that they're not going to really get, or if they get it, it's going to be like a long-term catastrophe. So that is something about them that is not really, good. They have, the assassinations are. They've been doing assassinations before the revolution in Russia. They were trying to assassinate presidents here. But the same group was trying to do it over. And a lot of these young people have been misguided by extremist ideologies, and it's unfortunate that they're going down that route. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, let's do this. How about well, see. Well, I'm gonna get this right. Let's reload. Let's see what this thing is. It's DEMU no IU. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Falcon. I think. Okay, allegedly, people that are part of that organization believe in something like that. Yes, there are people in there that claim to be various different religions that are good, and it seems that they may view themselves as doing that, but there are people in there that are involved in some strange uh, occultic practices that would be against that creator. Yeah, Falcon, I think they do acknowledge that, in my opinion. That's who they believe that they're appeasing to. But some of them also are appeasing evil things as well. So, yeah, I think that's more likely what they believe in. But when you do that, it's very vague on what you're actually dedicating yourself to. But yeah, that's probably something more similar to what they think, in my opinion. All right. A catastrophe is what it is because apparently this individual, because of DEI, the bar was lower, rate lowered for him to achieve diplomas, couldn't learn a job in his dreams. Hence, you are correct. Sir, the achieved diploma without any real merit and unable to learn a job in his dreams in the chosen profession that he wanted to be in. Yeah, yeah, I see. Definitely, there was this absolutely very good point. Because they put them in these schools and stuff, but they're not really learning anything. You know, when you have a lot of like government funding for something, a lot of times it doesn't go to the people. Like in California, There's this bridge that used to be lit up, right, with copper or whatever, and they took all the copper off of it. Now it's a dark bridge, and there's so many homeless over there, and people in drugs and stuff in the street. It's um, I've seen it with Lori all the time. It's just there'd be rows and rows of homeless encampments and kinds of crazy things over there. So it's just a lot of times when they raise these taxes, it goes to the people, just like over in Russia. The czar was worth like $1 billion, a couple $1 billion, or something like that, our currency. And then Russia's like was like a poor country. They were like one of the wealthiest countries on earth. Russia, like it was like a powerhouse, and then it became one of the poorest places ever. Like, where all that money go? Where did it all go? Those people waiting in food lines and barely any food. I mean, come on. It's like these people are just a bunch of con artists. And they're the same con artists that are doing stuff now. Frank said, yes, you're speaking about the bridge that's currently built in Los Angeles, and the people of the area stripped the bridge off its copper, and now the bridge is displayed in a dark bridge. And disablastitated dark bridge. Yes, it's a very sad story. Yeah. And I'm not saying the czar was perfect or anything. Russia needs some, like, maybe needs some reform, but apparently the people that live in Russia say he was a good czar and it was a good country and the communists ruined everything. So, I don't know what to believe at some point, what these people think. But yeah, it was a very sad situation, with what they did, man. They basically destroyed everything. Those people that did that, you know. Then it spread to China too. It was not democratic. That's basically what it was. Not democratic. And it's dangerous when you have something like that. In China too, man. They had the Cultural Revolution. It wasn't nice. Lori said, we have the same problem here in Portland, Eugene, in Portland, Rosenberg, Bend, and Salem, Oregon. The better social services, the more that come. Yep. Right. Frank said, quite excellent response, Lori, and more comes from social services that I strongly champion for American words, language, and culture. Thank you, Frank, for your take on this. I really appreciate your thoughts on these things. You know, a lot of times they don't know about what's being taught, what's being heard. It can definitely cause an annoyance when the more they put out on these things, the less actual return that you get. Because you want to have a fair system, but what these people do is just reverse engineer it to make it into a parasite. Okay, let's see this right here. Yes, we have no value and we have to return our investment, if you could call it an investment. Yeah, yeah. And delivering a Grubhub and riding a bus, I see lots of many transients, people who don't want to quit using drugs and mentally ill, who cause the problems, yards garbage, etc. Yeah, absolutely. And Laura, you picked up a lot of mess those people made, and it's just really low class that they're hurting the environment. And that side always claims to help the environment, but these specific individuals do not help the environment. You are correct, Falcon, and that was King George V. Yeah, he was cousins with the monarch of England, and he was also cousins with the Tsar of Russia. I mean, the not the Tsar, the Kaiser of Germany, King George, and the Tsar. They're all three of them were cousins. They're very good friends. It's very sad, and they went and did mass murder. The revolutionaries, and the whole family was lost. Allegedly, Anastasia survived. Allegedly, there's a conspiracy theory about that, but the family was not around anymore. Hori said, "Really believe we have been in the early stages of the zombie apocalypse. It just doesn't look like the zombies on TV." Yeah, very well said. Very well said. Very well said. And Lori, you are 100% correct. And like Los Angeles, it's we are adults and we just have pacified these children yet. Family was homeless for nearly a year and we didn't trash the place. We stayed, drugs into good programs, help us get back on our feet. That's what the programs are for, and that's what you got to do. A lot of these people just want to take advantage of everything and act stupid. So it's not like how it used to be in the past. Alrighty, let's see. Let's put this trial on for chat. Let's see. Okay, this is something else I'm making is for the people that want to watch the girl trial, the Tanner trial. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Alrighty, let's change this. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, shout out to Frank, cool people. Let's see, Tanner. $9:45. Well, let's make it 9:40. How about that? Okay. Okay, so whoever wants to watch this, let's see. 9:04. That's even better. Okay. I got to streamline the consciousness into that. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I do appreciate cultural individuals, like-minded people who understand where our country is and people hands in right direction. Well, Frank, you certainly have been a gentleman on this topic. All right, salute you for that. I look forward to more of your takes on these things. Thank you very much. Yeah, all we need is love, Falcon, and less hate. Let's tend to the garden. I just planted my seeds in the beautiful state of California. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get out, get some sun, enjoy the day. Okay, well, thank you very much. Have fun with your garden. Very nice. Okay. All right. So, for those that are interested, I have the Tanner trial about to go live and just right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, for those interested in watching the Tanner trial, it is up to watch. It's ad free. We'll see how it goes with you know, how the connection, fares out. But yeah, it's up right now for those that are interested. All right. So Frank said, Frank Tank, California, sign off. God bless and every single one of us. Amen. God bless you too. Oh, my pleasure, Lori. It's an honor serving all of you, and it's so nice to do my streams again. I love the jury duty, and I love the people there, and my fellow jurors always will hold in the highest regard. But yeah, it's nice to be back.
to the old schedule. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Here. All right. Let's go up here. Okay. All right. Now, how about this? At this point in time, I'll end this phone live, and thank you all for coming, and have a great day in peace. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go just yet because I want to see what Lori said. And I was thinking, what will we do if Alien is on a weeks long trial? Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of people were concerned about it and were curious about me. So it was nice being back. Yeah, and thinking of what will we do if Aliens on a weeks long trial. Yeah, look, I will say this: I'm so incredibly it's so cool that all of you were here watching. Some of the others were watching the trial that I was playing, and it's like that was like the I was still fulfilling my duty while I was like somewhere else. So yeah, yeah. And chat missed me, and Lori, Aaron told me I can't even get a days off. So yeah, that was. I remember like sometimes I'll even try to end a stream like not this time but other times, and there'll be someone that'll come in and just the streams are so many people like them that they want them to stay on all the time. So it actually means the product is good. So it's good reviews. And thank you, Moki, Aaron, Lori, and Falcon. I appreciate you all very much, and all the other mods and cool people. All right, and we will see you all. The Garden Live will be tonight again at some point, and look forward to see you all on that one. And take care of peace.